Hello and welcome back to Hollywood Oracle Group number 1. This is how you shock people. Let's see what your card was. Marriage. So group number 1, how do you shock people? That guy kind of flew out. Which way do we want to go? Go in reverse? Yeah, it keeps going in reverse. Courage. Okay. So courage in reverse. If you've been here before, if you're coming back, thank you for coming back. If you haven't been here before, thank you for coming. Let's see. How do you shock people? You have the death card, the upright. Gratitude card in the reverse. Let's see what these two cards were. We have the faith card in reverse and the eternal card in the reverse. Usually you only do. I'll do that. We have the free card in the upright. Protected card in the reverse. Business card in the upright. The lost card in the upright. Gifts in the upright. Given in the upright. And let's see one more for you here. And passion in the upright. Okay, bottom of the deck is advice in the reverse. So, pound number 1, group number 1. Let's see, how do you shock people? If you've been here before, then I read kind of this is past, this is current, and this is future. These two can kind of blend together, but let's see, how do you shock people? Group number 1, with the marriage card in the upright, you could either be married or you people see you with as being a person with a lot of like marriage material kind of aspects. We have the courage in the reverse here is either a past or something you could possibly be going through as of right now, as far as how you shock people. With the courage in reverse, I feel like you might have gone through something where people kind of felt like you had lacked the courage to do something. However, regardless of you lacking that courage or that situation played out, it did eventually end. And that's how you shock people. Is people probably that's you could have been in a situation that people didn't think was going to end, or maybe a situation as far as like a relationship where you weren't being treated fairly, or a business thing where you weren't being treated fairly there at the business. And people kind of just thought you were always going to go with it. And you definitely put an ending to that situation, and that's how you shock people. Okay. This person could have tried to give you things, or maybe people just kind of feel like you're somebody who kind of was lacking gratitude at that moment. Maybe you didn't really, you weren't really open to accepting gifts, or maybe I'm kind of seeing this as like your love isn't based off of material things, and that's kind of how you shock people. Is like people can present you with gifts or kind of tempt you with things, and you're kind of just kind of disinterested as far as you know giving your love in exchange for what someone else can give you, that might be either material wise, or if it's a business transaction, maybe sign putting you on salary as opposed to actually having you getting paid for working overtime, those kind of things. That's how you shock people. You also kind of shock people because you have the faith card in the reverse. So how do you shock people is, I kind of feel like you kind of run into a lot of people who either might not be religious or spiritual or have any type of really affiliation. They might know of a lot of different religions, but they don't necessarily claim one. I feel like what shocks people is you might be the same way, or maybe you're just kind of open minded as far as religion goes. And even though you don't necessarily believe in one fully, how you shock people is that you still have faith in the things that you do. So even though you might not, for example, believe in God, you know that there is sometimes something out there strong, equally in strength, or maybe you just believe that all gods are the same God, right? So what is my saying? Now that I actually have to say it, I can't remember it. Um, Spirit, God, angels, whatever it is you believe in, right? What people find kind of amazing about or shocked about you is that even though you might not believe in one specific, you do believe in some type of higher faith, right? Eternal here is, I kind of feel like you're kind of like a free flowing. What kind of shocks people is, you know, um, you're somebody who doesn't mind putting like an end to situations that might not be benefiting you, or things that maybe if people try and take advantage of you in some way or somehow, and you started noticing like a pattern. You they how you shock people is you don't have a mind any problem walking away from people who are putting you in these type of predicaments, right? We have the free card. So how you shock people is how you just always have this like joyful energy, just kind of always free. You're one of those people who kind of just stop and smell the roses, one of those truly kind of just, joyous people. Maybe when you're out and about, people stop and ask you for help because you just look like somebody that might be able to help them. I get that all the time. It's, it's weird, it when it first started happening, but now it happens so much that it's like, I don't know. It's like almost like I almost already am stopping to help them before they even start asking for the help. But anyways, how you shock people is um, you have the protected card here in the reverse. So I think how you shock people is, um, I think people feel like you're gullible. Um, you might be, because you're such an open and kind of like free flowing kind of person, people might prey on you and see you as easy prey, but they soon find out that that is not the situation, and that you are definitely protected by something of a higher existence. Because I definitely kind of feel like, because you're such a kind of like open person to things, a lot of people think that you're not protected. They don't see anybody really trying to help you or guide you in a better position. They feel like you'd be somebody easy to pick on. And what shocks people is that the spirit team comes from. uh, what also shocks people about you is we have the business card here. And what shocks people is, I feel like a lot of people might perceive you to be somebody who doesn't really know too much actually about business or how things work or run. But then as they start to talk to you, they figure out that you know more than maybe the average person, or maybe you're even, teaching or showing them things that they didn't know about. Or it's possible that like people who You run into people who don't really have future end goals as far as money goes, and you kind of give them little, knowledge and tidbits on how to either increase their wealth or maintain their wealth or maintain a certain type of lifestyle. So what people find interesting or shocking about you is that you could either have a business, you could be business savvy, you could have more than one job, you could have a business of your own. Um, Next, you have the loss card. We have the loss. So, in this card, though, with the loss, I don't feel like, again, you're somebody who is actually lost. I feel like if you are actually lost, you're not, how to explain this? If you are actually lost, you're not necessarily lost. You have a general idea of where you are, and it could also be meaning, and take it how it resonates, that this could be this is future energy, so this could be you exploring new lands if you're planning on traveling out of the country that you're currently in, or maybe even just traveling out of the city that you're currently in. So I feel like this is a what is that a saying? I don't know how the saying goes. You're lost, but not actually lost. Not everyone who is lost, or what is it? Not everyone who wanders is lost. Is that the saying? So this could be just you in the future, just kind of taking trips, kind of getting out of your um, comfort zone. And you can see in the card there, it's kind of looking off, kind of confused, not necessarily scared or any other emotion, just kind of taking everything in. And he's in a different location. If you've seen the movie, in the future, we have gifts here. So how you shock people is, I feel like, again, you'll be either traveling or possibly just getting out more and doing more things, right? How are you going to shock people? It's gifts. So you're going to be receiving a lot of gifts, whether that's from spirit or that's just from people in your, inner circle. I mean, take how that resonates for you, but that's definitely how you're going to be shocking people. I feel like how also you're going to be shocking people is you're either going to be forgiving people who have done you wrong, um, and people might know the situation or backstory of those stories, and they're going to be shocked that you were able to find it in yourself to forgive these people. So that could be how you're going to be forgiving people in the future here with the forgiveness card, or somebody who has uh, you have done wrong will either be forgiving you. So take how that resonates for you. Let's see, we have the passion card here in the as ending off that. So, how you're going to be shocking people is, I feel like you might have a lot more suitors coming towards you, or there could be maybe you're already dating a lot of suitors or seeing a lot of people, and you finally found that person that you're going to be heavily involved with, especially with the picking the marriage card as your card. Overall, I mean, the bottom of the deck advice here is advice in the reverse. So I feel like how you're going to be shocking people just kind of overall is, I feel like a lot of people are going to have opinions about either how you should do things or what they would do if they were in your situation. However, I don't feel like you're going to be taking a lot of these people's advice. Even with that being said, I feel like you will be still progressing in your life without taking these people advice, and that's how you're going to be shocking people, is people are going to feel like they know best for you, and you end up not taking their advice and still doing better than what they suggested. That is what I am picking up of how you shock people. Group number one, we'll pull you some advice cards from Major Pain and see what he's got to say. Major Pain is just spirit, God, angels, whatever it is you believe in. Love is for everyone in the reverse. All right, come on. I said I was gonna light another incense. Do you want it, earn it in the reverse? Water your goals in the upright. I think I'm picking up what Major Pain here is saying. Man respect in the reverse. I don't want it. Okay. So if you are married or marriage is something that you are looking for, what I kind of feel here is I feel like you could, Major Pain here is saying that you could be somebody who is either looking for love, you are in a relationship, however, you might not be feeling close to that person, right? I feel like what he's saying is if that's what you're looking for, then you obviously have to take those steps towards that with the water your goals card. So if you're in a relationship and maybe you two aren't talking currently, I feel like Major Pain is just trying to let you know, like, if it's a situation where you were wrong or the other person was wrong, try to, talk to them, try to understand the way that they're seeing the situation. Okay. Um, Pretty much saying that like one of you is going to have to cave or compromise, right, in order for you two to continue moving forward, right? Or if I hate to like give out, relationship advice, like I'm perfect at relationships, but um, if you two aren't really talking, this is just saying like, hey, get that communication flowing again. Pretty much just saying water your goals. So whether this is a relationship or if this is a business deal, um, you know, you know, start with one step, right? Start with the smallest step first, and then as it progresses, you know, keep working with it. I feel like spirit, universe, God, angels, whatever it is you believe in, has been trying to give you something, or at least help you in the direction of the way you want things to go. So if it is a relationship, they've been trying to help you get a relationship. But if you're not going outside, it's kind of hard for them to have divine intervention for you to meet somebody for you to find marriage, right? So I feel like they're trying to give it to you, but you're saying repeatedly, I don't want it with the, Major Pain card here. So it could be something, and if it's not a relationship, take how it resonates. Maybe it's like, you want, maybe right now you're an assistant at your job and, you feel like you're doing majority of the work of what your boss is supposed to be doing, or maybe just the boss, designates most of the work that, you know, that is there towards you. So you feel like you could either do your boss's job, or maybe you're like, maybe you're just kind of bored or stuck, sick of your position, right? And you feel like you could, go higher in the company or find another job where you could be the boss. It's pretty much saying, like, okay, what are the first steps? Work on your resume, right? Get your resume up to date. And then, it's possible if you're signed up for like ZipRecruiter, Monster Jobs, whatever there is out there, right? And you're getting all these updates on jobs, but you're not applying for them, right? So it's like, um, Spirit Guide Universe is just saying, like, hey, we can only do so much. Like, you have to take like the steps in order to get to where you're going, right? With the demand respect card in the reverse, I kind of feel like this is just Spirit Guide, the universe saying, at the moment you might not be feeling, I don't want to say full of yourself, but just, might not be having your, shoulders back, head, held high, chin up, right? So I just feel like this is just a reminder to, respect yourself. And the saying that I always say is, people are only going to treat you how you allow them to treat you. So, or people are only going to do what you allow, is what I say. So if you allow them to disrespect you, then they're going to continue disrespecting you. So I feel like this is just a reminder to work on yourself and respecting yourself and expecting that same respect from other people. Okay. That is how you are shocking people. Group number one. I will see you on the next one. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. And thank you for tuning in to Hollywood Oracle. Bye. Hello, group number two. Your card here is listen. So, how do you shock people? Group number two, which are impeccable listening skills. Uh, how do you shock people? Obviously, you're a great listener. Um, you could be somebody who, people tell you things and then like you remember it for like ever, and then you bring it up one day and they're like, "How do you remember that?" Challenge card in the reverse. How do you shock people? That was kind of cool. Passion card in the upright. Home card in the upright. How do you shock people? Oh, patience card in the upright. Third party card in the upright. Admirer card in the upright. All right. Group number two. Strength card in the reverse. Wisdom card in the upright. And let me just get four more. Courage card in the reverse. The rest card in reverse. Twin flame card in the reverse. And the lost card in the upright. Bottom of the deck energy is free. And I'm hearing it, the song in my head is that link the song down and below if you know the song, and I'm gonna sing it for you. And I'm sorry, I'm probably gonna butcher it, but how does it go? 'Cause I'm free, free falling. I don't know the name of that song. Put it, link it down below for me if you know the name of that song. Let's see, group number two. How do you shock people? And I'm just gonna shuffle these so they're ready to go. Um, Listen, I think you're so far with the card listen up there. I think you're a great listener, right? People really come to you because they feel like you listen. I feel like you have a great eye contact when people are, talking to you, or you're just a great person to let people, vent out what it is, And I feel like you might even give them advice on the situation, but definitely people definitely feel like you're a great listener whenever they're talking. You really feel make them feel like you're taking in every part of the story. uh how do you shock people with the challenge card in the reverse? I feel like you're definitely somebody who um how you shock people is I feel like people don't necessarily see you have challenges in your life. So I feel like people feel like things kind of come to you easily, like there are no challenges or obstacles in your life. And that's how you shock people. It's kind of one of those, you kind of just pop out with whatever it is that you wanted or you were trying to get. And people never really saw you go through the challenges of trying to get that. I feel like what shocks people is people don't really ever see you, go through any type of struggle to achieve maybe the lifestyle that you have currently, right? Passion card, what shocks people about you is uh, I think how passionate you are or can be. People see that you can be either a romantic person, so take how it resonates. If you're somebody in a relationship, people can definitely see, how passionate you are. It's possible that there are some people who, are kind of envious as how you treat your partner. and wish that their partner either treated them the same way or wish that they were dating you. But that's how you shock people, is the way that how either romantic you are towards significant others or just in general. Okay. Also, kind of feel like you might be kind of a smooth talker. So take how that resonates. Maybe you have, what do they call that? Like the morning voice when you talk. That kind of morning blissful voice, right? That's how you shock people. So how do you shock people? Next, we have the home card. And with home in the upright, I kind of feel like how you shock people is people, as people are around you, how you shock them is just how comfortable they start to feel around you. I feel like you might even make people feel more at home around you than when they actually are at home in their home. And that's kind of how you shock people is, even if you just met them or um, you know of each other, but not necessarily know each other, people definitely feel comfortable and safe in your environment, and that's what shocks people. People also are also shocked at the amount of patience you have, and you you might be somebody who's able to sit there patiently and wait, and you can see that kind of smile on his face. So what shocks people is the amount of patience that you have, and how patient you can be with somebody that might, send them up the wall, right? That might just drive them insane. People are definitely shocked at how you don't, in a society now that is so on demand. People are shocked at how much patience you have to wait for something to come either into fruition for you, or just waiting for things in general. I'm also kind of seeing, and take how it resonates, how you shock people is like how you can set a goal and patiently build up to that goal until you finally reach it, and that's how you shock people. Okay, how you shock people with the third party card in the upright. I believe how you shock people is how you're able to kind of um, multitask, right? You have multiple projects going on at one time, and how you shock people is how you keep up with all these projects. Whereas for most people, it's wake up, go to work, or possibly wake up, breakfast, go to work, lunch, take care of the kids' lunch, picking the kids up. There's so much going on. And what shocks people is how you can have so much going on and still manage to do everything with what appears to look like ease, right? So that's how you shock people, is definitely how you have so many projects going on at once, but you're able to maintain everything. How you shock people is we have the admirer card, and take how this resonates. This could be you have secret admirers either at your job, in your general vicinity. There could just be people who admire you, based off of either hardworking you are or how you're able to multitask and do things. But you definitely have admirers, and people are, that's how you shock people, is the amount of admire people who actually do admire you. With the strength card in the reverse, I'm seeing, with the strength card in reverse, how you shock people is I feel like even when you're down, um, you're able to still maintain everything as if everything was up, if that makes sense. So I feel like even when you might be at your lowest or going through some things, you still keep a level head. You still come show up to work every day, put in your hardest, as if you were having one of your best days. How you shock people next is the amount of wisdom you have. So you could be a younger person and take it how it resonates. You could be, a younger person that, seems wise, or people could say you're, an old soul. Or maybe if you are somebody who is raised by their grandparents, it's usually somebody that they would say was wise because they're raised by people with a lot of knowledge or wisdom from being alive longer than most parents are when they're raising children. So what how you shock people is the amount of wisdom you have, the amount of wisdom that you pertain, or maybe you're just somebody who, looks up a lot of wisdom. Maybe you're somebody who knows a lot of facts, or so that's how you shock people, is just how much you actually know. How you shock people with the courage card in the reverse. I feel like how you shock people is, um, you know, you might talk about doing things. And I feel like how you shock people is you kind of talk about doing things with no courage, if that makes sense. Like, oh, I want to do this, but I feel like then you might give reasons or excuses why either you couldn't do that or that wouldn't work out or something like that. But then I feel like um, you still end up like doing those things. So I feel like you lack courage at first in yourself, but you're still able to complete these things, if that makes sense. So I feel like that's what shocks people about you, is even though you might lack the courage in yourself to start something new or try something you haven't done before, you still go ahead and do it. Um, with the rest card in reverse, I feel like how you shock people is you might not be somebody who gets as much rest as everyone else. However, you're still able to, do, a full days of work or and more, based on what you do. So I feel like that's how you shock people, is, or possibly that you don't require as much sleep as somebody else, is how you shock people. Um, with twin flame card next in reverse, I feel like how you shock people is, even if you're in a relationship with somebody, whether it's business, platonic, or romantic, regardless of how you feel about them, I feel like how you shock people is your ability to walk away from them, with that card being in the reverse. So even if you love this person to death, you rather love them from a distance if they, cause drama or headaches in your life, or problems in your life. How you shock people with the lost card in the upright, I feel like you might be one of those people who wanders but is never truly lost. So, how you shock people is your ability to, maybe you're a person who goes on a lot of traveling trips, or just takes a lot of adventures or hikes, takes a lot of bike trails, does a lot of walks. Maybe you're just a very active person, and it's a lot of things that you've never done before that you're doing, and that's how you shock people. With the bottom of the card energy, we have the free card. So I kind of feel like how you shock people is, again, how free of a person you are, how free spirited you are, how free you are to, new things in your life. We'll pull some advice cards for Major Pain here. Major Pain is spirit, God, whatever it is you believe in, right? No whining. No whining. Let's see. Let's decide again. How do you want to go? Fell in reverse. So it was act like a bee, get treated like one. One tabe. And I'll pull you. I'll pull you one more. Effing relax in the reverse. And we have nourish in the reverse as well. Advice from spirit, God, angel, whatever it is you believe in. Major Pain. No whining in the upright. Act like a female dog, get treated like one. So I feel like the advice Major Pain is trying to give you here is no whining. If there's some goal or something that you're trying to work towards, get to it. Okay, no whining. With the act like the female dog and get treated like one, I feel like he's just saying, if you're gonna act like it, expect people to treat you like it. Okay, so Google that. or look it up in the dictionary if you don't know what that word is, and you'll figure it out. One tubby tubby. So I kind of feel like his advice here is maybe you're normally on some type of workout regimen or just something that you do to, or maybe lately you've been on some type of workout regimen or just walking more, getting out more, and you've kind of slacked off and put that to the wayside. He's just saying, hey, get back on that, because we also have nourish here in the reverse. So I kind of feel like those two might go hand in hand with major pain here, just saying to maybe your diet has also fallen off with your exercise. So maybe you had a cheat day and now you've had a couple of cheat days and you're supposed to be getting back to, your diet here. With the effing relax in the reverse, I feel like this is what you haven't been doing. So he's just making note that you still need to take rests between, or maybe you've just been resting too much as well. So take how that resonates. Either you haven't been resting enough for the people who have just been go, go, go. And then I'm also getting people who've been resting way too damn much. Okay. So uh, get up, get off your back. That is what I'm seeing here for your reading group number 2. Thank you for tuning in to Hollywood Oracle. I will see you on the next one. Go ahead, like, subscribe, so you can stay up to date when I drop the next ones, and I will see you on the next reading. Thank you. Bye. Hello, group number 3. Last but not least, how do you shock people? Joy. I feel like how you shock people is your ability to remain joyous, or the old definition of gay, be happy. How you shock people is how you stay so happy, how you stay so free spirited, always trying to enjoy the day, dance a little. If you're like myself and work in a retail store, then there's always music playing, so maybe you decide to, do the hustle. Dun, 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 dun. I'm going to shuffle these real quick so we can just pull these two. Group number 3, what's going on? How do you shock people besides being so joyful? Being so jolly, old St. Nicholas. Alright, let's see. How do you shock people? How do you shock people? Advice in reverse. Challenge in reverse. Growth in reverse. What is going on? Group number 3. Admire in the upright. All right. Protected in reverse. Secrets in the upright. New doors in the reverse. Ingratitude in the upright. Straighten these out here. All right. 4 more. Marriage in the reverse card. Enlighten in the upright. Grace in the reverse. And reflection in the reverse. Wow, what in the world? I promise you there's upright cards in this. But let's see. Bottom of the deck is gifts in the upright. All right. How do you shock people? How do you shock people? Group number three. So besides being so joyful here, I feel with the advice card in the reverse, I feel like how you shock people is I feel like a lot of people give you advice, maybe on how to better your life, um, and you don't take that advice, but things end up happening for you anyways. So that's definitely how you shock people. How you shock people with the challenge card in the reverse is I feel like people feel that things aren't very challenging for you. So maybe people see you as a trust baby or have a silver spoon in the top, in your tongue there. But regardless, people feel like you don't experience as many challenges as they do in their life, and that's what shocks them. Is they feel like a lot of your achievements are kind of overnight. Um, that's how you shock people. How you shock people too is growth and growth in reverse. I feel like how you shock people is maybe how you aren't necessarily doing things to advance your life, but you're still seeing, or you're kind of, how to experience, plateaued for a lack of a better word. So how you shock people is how you've kind of worked yourself up to a level, and you've been able to maintain yourself at this level of wherever you've worked yourself at. So that's kind of how I'm seeing this growth card in reverse. Is how you shock people is even though you might not currently be trying to reach for even more growth, it people are still shocked that you're able to maintain yourself at the level that you're currently at. Um, Admirer here card in the upright, I feel like how you shock people is how you do have admirers, how people can even admire you to begin with. That's how you have people shocked. Currently, at the moment, with the protected card in the reverse, I feel like how you shock people is people don't necessarily see how you have spiritual protection, and that's how you shock people is people might see somebody trying to do get over on you, and they actually do end up getting over on you. But I feel with the protected in the reverse is even though you might not be protected in this realm, you are still protected in the astral realm. So what shocks people is, you know, the way that you're able to go about life without any perceived protection and still be okay. Secrets in the upright, I feel like how you shock people is how you're able to keep people's secrets, and that could be about whatever, whether it's relationship, whether it's their own personal things, whether it's about money, whether, it's this and that. I feel like people feel comfortable coming to you about secrets, about themselves, or the fact that you know a lot of things that might be secret. And that's what shocks people about you is like you're the person with the know-all about everything. New doors in the reverse. Um, how do you shock people? Again, I kind of feel like when one door kind of closes for you, another one opens. But the the thing I see is how you shock people is if a door closes on you, you don't necessarily make a big scene about it. You might be somebody who closes some of those doors yourself. So I feel like what shocks people about you is, the fact that, opportunities might present themselves. And yes, they might be better than some opportunities or other opportunities, but you know, um, the negatives are worse than the actual benefits of taking this new position. So what shocks people is that, your ability to, turn down, you know, oppor- opportunities and not let them affect you or maybe you just have morals and these opportunities don't align with your morals, and that's how you shock people, is your ability to turn down things that don't align with your morals, or the fact that like somebody can't pay you to look in the other direction for an opportunity, right? So that's kind of what I feel here for the new doors in reverse. The gratitude card in the upright, I feel like people, what shock people is just how grateful you are about when people give you things. They might feel a tad bit like you're over grateful, or the fact that I see gratitude as it's possible that people might see you always receiving gifts, and that's what shocks people about you, is that you're always receiving something, no matter who it's from. So if it's at work, maybe you're always getting flowers from your admirer, or your boyfriend or girlfriend's always buying you lunch, or your friend always gets you something, or the boss always grabs something when they're at the store for you. People just always seeing you get things, and that's what shocks them about you. With the marriage card in the reverse here, I'm seeing what shocks people about you is the fact that you're, and take it how it resonates, you might not be married at this time, and that's what shocks people about you. If you are married, what shocks people about you is the fact that um, even though you're married, I feel like your significant other might not be, how to explain it, very, what's the word for it, overprotective of the marriage, and that's what shocks people, because people see you as great marriage material, right? And I feel like what shocks people about you is either how you're not in a marriage, or that your significant other isn't somebody who's overly jealous or protective of you in the marriage. Enlightened in the upright, I feel like what shocks people about you is your ability to always get enlightened. Maybe you are always coming up with new ideas, or you're just the idea person who comes up with the best ideas, and the ideas that actually end up coming into fruition. Okay. With grace in reverse, I feel like how you shock people is, even when you're having a bad day, you still look good on your bad days. So you maybe you feel like a t-shirt and pants is too casual for the workplace, but on you a t-shirt and pants, based on the t-shirt and pants that you actually buy and wear, it still looks very formal or business casual, and you still look good even though you were trying to dial it down for the day. Because you just didn't get enough sleep, or whatever the reason is. So that's how you shock people, is the ability to still look good in sweatpants. And, so that's how you shock people. How you shock people is reflection. So I feel like how you also shock people is, I feel like you might still deal with people who have not reflected on the wrong dealings that they have either done to you or other people. And what people find shocking about you is, the fact that you can still deal with people who haven't done reflection or shadow work on themselves to become better people. And that's what shocks people. So take how that resonates. If you, and it could be that you're a like a cop, or you're a therapist or something like that. But what shocks people is that your ability to communicate and maybe even find common ground with people who have not done reflection or soul work on themselves. With the bottom of the deck energy, it's gifts. Again, I feel like it kind of goes along with the gratitude card. So what shocks people is that you're always receiving gifts, and you're always grateful for the gifts that you receive. We'll grab you some advice cards here from Major Pain. Remember, Major Pain is spirit, God, angels, whatever it is you believe in. And we have Be About Your Go have fun. Two more cards here. Only way forward. and I do not want it in reverse. Bottom of the deck of that is just stupid. It's just stupid. Okay, so advice from spirit, God, angels, whatever it is you believe in. Be about your go have fun. So I feel like pretty much what they're just trying to tell you is, if there's something or a way that you're perceiving yourself, like, hey, if you want to be top G, what is the name? Andrew Tate. Be Andrew Tate then. Make Andrew Tate type moves. So, don't just say it, go out there and be it, right? But also have fun in the process, because I feel like only one way forward as your next card is pretty much just saying, like, if you run into speed bumps on your way moving towards what it is that you want, remember that there's not only one way to get what it is that you want, right? So, for instance, if you want to be, more well off, you believe that working only with, going to college and working can you be well off. Well, if you, can get up enough money and invest in the right kind of stocks or real estate, you could also become wealthy that way instead of going to college and getting a lot of debt. Okay, so I feel like this is just them saying, like, look at other options of how you can do things if you run into speed bumps, and don't let those deter you. I don't want it in reverse is saying, if you want something as bad as you say you want it, then you got to put in the effort to actually get it. So you're not going to get it if you don't want it that bad, right? Like, let's, for instance, if you want your side job to become your main job, but you only really interact with your side job or hobby 2 days out of the week, how do you expect that to become your main job if you aren't putting in the hours and the work to get that to be your main job? I'm not saying that that main job can't be 2 days of the week, but how do you get it there? By just starting off with that, right? So, are you stupid? Like, then that's spirit, God, angels just saying, you know, are you listening? As we've told you, and they could have been telling you through angel numbers, whatever it is you believe in, right? Been telling you could be seeing repeating numbers, you could be seeing multiples. Uh, I've been seeing a lot of doubles, so like doubles of the number. So if it's 32, 32, 11, 11, 44, 44, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. So take it how it resonates with you. But thank you for tuning in to Hollywood Oracle, and I will see you on the next one. Like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Let me know how all this resonated with you, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.